Hi, my name is Stephanie Marcasano and I'm founder of the Harris Project. The Harris Project is the only nonprofit in the nation committed to the prevention and treatment of co-occurring disorders. You may be asking yourself, what is co-occurring disorders and why does it matter to me? Well, co-occurring disorders is the combination of one or more mental health challenges, things like anxiety, depression, ADHD, bipolar disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and substance misuse and addiction. 22% of youth 13 to 18 have a diagnosable mental health disorder in a given year with severe impact. 50% of all lifetime mental health disorders begin by the age of 14 and 75% by the age of 24. That tells us that mental health disorders are disorders of the young. But when you look at the ages 14 to 24, you can also think about the fact that a lot of young people think that experimentation with substances is a rite of passage, that smoking marijuana, smoking cigarettes, vaping, drinking, that those are somehow rites of passage, not understanding the relationship between mental health and substance use. 70% of youth entering treatment for a substance use disorder were identified as having a co-occurring mental health disorder, and 43% of youth entering treatment for a mental health disorder have a co-occurring substance use disorder. Yet so many of you have never heard of it. So our belief is that knowledge is power. What you don't know, but now that you know, what are you going to do differently? I started the Harris Project after my 19-year-old son died by accidental overdose in 2013. He had this thing called co-occurring disorders, and my goal was to create opportunities in prevention, early intervention, and treatment to save lives and improve outcomes. So you may be wondering, how do I get this thing called co-occurring disorders? So the vast majority of young people will have an existing or an emerging mental health disorder, using substances to self-medicate, not looking to party, but looking to go to that party feeling comfortable in their own skin, to relieve stress, to just feel like everybody else, not recognizing how quickly that spiral down can happen. Then there are some who have a substance use disorder predisposition and a mental health disorder predisposition, truly that co-occurring balancing act. Now you may be thinking, well, I don't have a mental health disorder, so at least she's not talking to me. Here's where the final category impacts everyone. So you know how they say your brain isn't fully developed until you're 25? That is a real thing. So every time you use a substances, even if it's legally prescribed, like an opioid prescription for a sports injury or wisdom tooth removal, you are taking a risk that you can change your brain chemistry. So the more we know about this relationship, the easier it is to make empowered decisions. We do a lot of work with athletics. Student athlete gets injured, gets legally prescribed opioids. Do they know that there could be depression that comes along with that? That we need to build a safety net so that they don't become addicted, so that we can break these patterns. Then there's also the issue of genetics, family history, and trauma. What if there's mental health issues in your family and somebody self-medicates with alcohol? Now you know that these things are connected and how important it is to get support for your mental health earlier. So we've developed CODA, Co-Occurring Disorders Awareness. The goals are simple. We want to increase early intervention opportunities, create empowered decision makers, increase the likelihood that those with co-occurring disorders might get help and support early, create a generation without stigma, and really create youth leaders who can change the way that we look at this, that can change the landscape, that can advocate for changes in policy, that can be connectors and supporters of their friends. So when we created CODA, we focused on two hashtags. Hashtag CODA Connects, everyone has the power to connect and support one another. Hashtag Be the Link. Who am I going to link to if I'm concerned about myself or a friend? We're being really proactive here. We also created the 2-star logo so we could tell our story easily, the story behind the stars. So when you look at the 2-star logo, we want you to think the power of connection, the benefit of linking to resources, the two sides of co-occurring disorders, mental health and substance use, and also a reminder that you aren't alone. This duality, the 2 stars, allows us to tell our story really quickly. You're going to have some activities that you can work on today or that you can take home and do another time. One of those is going to be what's important to me. This allows you to map out your thoughts and feelings and turn them into words. Our CODA Connector card has a really great positive affirmation on one side and the ability to identify and start thinking proactively about who you would link to if you were concerned about yourself or a friend. I'm so excited to be partnered with the New York City Police Foundation and to bring to you a conversation about co-occurring disorders awareness. Thank you so much.